Okay, so in this video, I want to add this little I don't know what it's called, but I've done these in several of my weapon designs, and I just think they look cool. So I want to kind of get like a paneling kind of going around the corner up to the front here. So let's just try to add that in. It shouldn't be too difficult. So we can just use a simple join boolean or union boolean, same thing, to kind of get this effect. So I'm going to start with a cube this time, because this is generally how it's going to look at the end of the day, so might as well use the cube. We're going to put this in here, and then we're just going to scale this down to about here, and let's scale this on the X. So I don't really know how far I want the paneling to go, maybe near this corner. We'll just keep scaling it up until we're kind of happy with where it's going to be. So imagine this piece just kind of looping around to the corner, to the front here, just a very thin panel. Just imagine that's what this is, and just kind of scale it until it looks like it's in a good position, really. So I think this is enough. Now I don't want it to extend this far out. This is just too much, so we can go into face mode and essentially just pull these guys back. So it's just a very slight panel. That's all this thing is. And then maybe we could, let's see, add a loop cut with Control R. And we'll bring it so it's flush with this edge. Now if you want to be perfectly aligned with this edge here, what you could do is just go to edge snap, grab it, hold control, and snap it to that edge. But I'm just going to put it ever so slightly on the outside because we're going to be doing a join boolean anyways, so I don't know how much it would really matter. So maybe just about there is fine. And then last thing, if we just kind of pan to the opposite side, we can take this face. Let's see, I think this is not quite flush with the wall here. Let's try again. Grab it, hold control, and snap it. There we go. And then we'll take this face here and just extrude it. And I'll hold control again to snap it. And as a matter of fact, actually, you know what? This should be completely fine. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Now in face mode, I'm just going to take these two faces and pull them a little bit closer to that face there, so the thickness is about the same as it rounds the corner. Now what I think I'd like to do is make a little rounded edge here on the back of this panel. So if we select both these edges, we'll tab into edge mode, shift select both of these, and press Control B. Well, you're going to see, first of all, we need to go into object mode and apply that scale with Control A. And now we can try this again. So edge mode, let's try beveling. Control B, and let's just scroll up on our mouse wheel so we get more segments. And you're going to see it kind of starts intersecting, and it just doesn't look good. We don't want that. So what we can do is press C, and that's going to turn on clamp overlap, meaning it won't allow you to intersect the geometry. So we're just going to do that, pull it all the way out, and the only thing left to fix is this, maybe, if there's an intersecting face. Let's see. Yeah, there's two faces right here on top of each other. So we do have our auto merge turned on. One way to fix that is to just slide up, slide back down, or you could of course just select everything with the A key and press M and merge by distance. Whatever works for you, we just want to make sure there's not any sort of overlapping geometry on that side. Now I think I'll add a little bit of a chamfer around these faces. So if we select them and press Control B, we'll just scroll down. I just want a very slight chamfer going on. Kind of like that. Let's see how it looks in object mode. Yeah, it's not too bad. I just want something very slight enough to kind of capture the light with that bevel. I think it looks nice. And see what I mean? Sometimes very, very basic shapes in Blender can come together to make something really cool on your design. So yeah, don't be scared to use basic shapes because usually that's all you need for the more simple designs on your objects. Okay, let's also smooth this out because it's still jagged. So select it, right click, and then shade smooth, and we'll also turn on our auto smooth option here just to make that look a little bit cleaner. Now we do want to join this to this mesh here, and I'm going to show you why real quick. So later on in the course, when we're mostly done with the weapon, we want to add bevels to our object because every real world object has bevels on it. Nothing can be perfectly sharp, not even a piece of paper. If you zoom in far enough, there will be a little bit of a bevel. So let me demonstrate. If I were to actually add a bevel to this guy, and you don't have to follow along here, just observe. So if I were to add a bevel here, this is going to look really confusing if you're new to Blender. Don't worry, this is all going to be explained later on in the course, so just kind of follow along here. I'm just going to do this quickly. We'll just do all this. Okay. So you can see we have a pretty nice looking bevel on here. Let's shade that smooth, and let me turn on this. There we go. Okay, so we have a little bit of a bevel going on. You can see the difference there. It's a lot nicer, but we don't get that bevel effect on this panel here. But check what happens when we actually union this to this piece. So if I select this and shift click on this guy and press Control plus on the number pad, this will actually be union together. I just need to kind of pull this in just a bit. So yeah, check this out. You can see now we actually have a nice bevel going around the face here to show that there's an actual fusion between these two objects. So that's why we're unioning this guy together, not just leaving it as a separate object, because these extra little designs really make your model come to life more. And by the way, if you're already quite experienced in Blender and know exactly what I was just talking about there, you're more than welcome to just hop ahead of the train and get on with that. But if you're a beginner still kind of learning what just happened there, don't fret, because everything's going to be explained in detail, and it's going to click in your head once we get to that section of the course. So yeah, for now you can just leave this guy how it is, leave this guy how it is, and we'll just it'll be one big happy family basically. So I just wanted to quickly demonstrate why we would end up joining things together rather than not just leaving them as separate objects. So yeah, that's about it. But for now we can just leave this here, and we'll get onto that later on in the course. So there we go. Now we have this little paneling effect going around the weapon, and it's really starting to come to life a bit more.